What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I've got multiple videos of what I'm calling just simply weird observations in the sky. Some nighttime sky and some daytime sky. And one, through a telescope, person was looking at the moon when something entered the field of view. Coming over here to the homepage of the website, today's feature photo was sent in by Elizabeth out of Sweden of a big jumbo halo low on the horizon, visible from Sweden. Very cool photo. Thanks for sharing. Checking in on the Schumann resonance, the last 24 hours have been pretty quiet. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. Only earthquake activity I see is over here at Madison River in the northwestern quadrant, and a little bit over here on the far eastern side at Parker Peak. Other than that, pretty quiet. That's supervolcano caldera. Coming over here to poweroutage.us, you can see the weather situation with regard to this big low pressure system that's anchored above the northern tier of the United States and southern Canada is still there, and there are still multiple power outages in multiple states. Right now, as I do this video, 21,800 customers in Minnesota, 13,200 customers in Wisconsin, 11,000 customers in West Virginia, and 11,000, almost 12,000 customers without electricity in New York. And once again, that's a side effect of this strong low pressure system that's still anchored above the northern United States and southern Canada. I want to take you guys over here to the National Data Buoy Center. This was sent in by a viewer just a few hours ago who couldn't help but notice the flashing buoy down here in the Coral Sea and the unprecedented vertical green line that went vertical over 4,000 meters in around 3 hours. And coming over here and looking at the data regarding this buoy down in the Coral Sea, you can see it did in fact go from 4,600, 4,500 meters all the way down to 39 meters, and then ultimately it flatlined at 0. And a lot of times when we see these buoys flashing in event mode like that, it's following an earthquake and quite possibly a tsunami. But if this were indicating a tsunami of over 4,600 meters, that's over 15,000 feet. That would be a 3-mile tall tsunami wandering around down here in the Coral Sea. And that's not the case. More than likely, they were pulling this buoy up into a ship to perform maintenance on the particular buoy. I've seen that before over the years. I'll take you guys now out to Hawaii. We're going to go to the big island of Hawaii, and we're going up here to Mauna Kea. And we're going to be looking to the west-southwestern sky. And you're going to see the Milky Way galaxy. This is from the Gemini Observatory. Notice the flurry of meteors over here off to the right-hand side of the cloud cam at the Gemini Observatory. Going up to the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument, you can also see a flurry of meteors that were detected by the SOHO instrument. And this was on 12/15 of 2022. And it, too, showed this flurry of meteors swarming the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument. But coming back over here to the Gemini Observatory, there goes more meteors. There goes the Milky Way galaxy, and you're going to see something move across the field of view right here. See that? What in the world? That covered probably 100 miles, assuming that this field of view here is at least 100 miles. We're going to zoom in on this object. It looks like a cloud almost, but it's moving way too fast. I mean, it covered that field of view in 15 minutes right there. Went from way over there all the way out of the field of view, covered the entire screen in around 14 minutes actually, but for mathematical purposes, we're going to break it down to, say, 15 minutes. So if that is indeed the case, and this is approximately 100 miles through here, this thing was moving somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 miles per hour if it cleared the field of view in 15 minutes, which it certainly did. But to keep it fair, let's say the field of view is 50 miles instead of 100 miles. That means this thing was moving at 200 miles an hour instead of 400 miles an hour. Either way, it was moving extremely fast to be a cloud, and if it were a cloud, it maintained the same shape for the entire time it went in front of this camera, and it was moving at well over 200 miles per hour, quite possibly even 400 miles per hour. So weird observation there out above the Pacific Ocean, above the big island of Hawaii. I want to take you guys now up to the sun here real quick, looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun. You can still see a lot of active regions on the Earth-facing side of the sun. This one down here has been extraordinarily active, over 20 M-class solar flares in the last 48 hours. In fact, 23 and counting to be exact. And there's another large active region right up there in the northeastern quadrant that's almost visible. So that one will be turning towards the Earth here in the next 24 hours. So the sun has been very active, sending multiple shock waves towards the Earth being detected in the ionosphere, one after another after another. So the sun is very, very active right now. I want to take you guys now to multiple locations around the world, just unusual observations in the sky. And this first video was sent in by Julie out of Palmdale, California from November 22nd of 2022. And this compelled her, obviously, to take a video of it, whatever it may be. It didn't look like a typical plane cruising through the sky. It looked like something falling through the sky. And she said right there, I don't know what that is, and that's obviously what compelled her to take the video. Looks like a flaming orange object falling through the sky, visible from Palmdale, California. A big, thick plume of smoke. If it is indeed smoke, I don't know, but there's something that was leaving a huge trail in the sky, visible from Palmdale, California. Video footage sent in by Julie. Going to take you guys now to a different location. Almost looks like the same thing. This video footage was sent in by Juan G. Not sure of the location, but this is a photo of what looked like Julie saw from Palmdale, California. Now I'm going to take you guys up to Alaska. Video footage here sent in by Edward from November of 2022. Looks like some sort of a black streak in the daytime sky above Alaska. And this is moving. This is the original video unedited, exactly the way I received it. That is something moving through the daytime sky of Alaska going back to November of 2022. Don't know the exact date and time, but it's clearly in broad daylight, something black moving through the sky. Okay, now we're going over to southern Spain. We're going to be looking at the moon through a telescope. Video footage sent in by Francisca from November of 2022. Again, we're in southern Spain looking at the moon when something entered the field of view while they were looking at the moon. And it kind of caught them by surprise as they weren't expecting anything to enter the field of view. They were just simply looking at the moon. And this thing, whatever it may be, is kind of traveling at an angle. It's going in a downward direction. An airplane, I would think, would be moving more in an upward direction or at least horizontally. This is moving at an angle, and it seems to be moving at an unusual speed. It kind of has some unusual mannerisms, if you will. It almost looks like it's spiraling through the sky. Doesn't look like a typical airplane contrail. It almost looks like it's spiraling through the sky in the viewfinder of a telescope while they were observing the moon. I mean, how weird is that? And if you look at it close, it almost looks like it's spiraling through the sky. I don't know how far away this is from the viewer. Again, they're looking through a telescope at the moon, so this must have been pretty high up in the sky, visible from southern Spain back in November of 2022. And then it departs the field of view, and it goes into the darkness there as they're viewing the moon through this telescope. And now we're going to zoom in super tight. This is the original video. It's unedited. All I've done is zoom in and trying to get a closer look at this thing, looking for possibly flashing lights or any type of recognizable features. And all you see is what looks like some sort of a debris field moving in front of the moon, visible from this telescope. It doesn't look like an airplane. It almost looks like it's spiraling in a counterclockwise motion, visible through the viewfinder of this telescope from southern Spain back in November of 2022. Really cool observation by Francisca from southern Spain as they were viewing the moon and caught totally by surprise as they weren't expecting any type of unusual activity. They were looking at the surface of the moon when this, whatever it may be, entered the field of view, and they happened to be recording at the same time, and it entered the field of view and it departs over here, goes into the darkness, and you can't see anything, no blinking lights or anything like that. So not quite sure what that was. They weren't sure either. They shared it with me, and I'm sharing it with you guys. Great job, guys. Keep the photos and videos coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. If you have any videos you'd like to share that are too large for the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. Look for this red tab that says have a large video. Click on that red banner, drag and drop your video into the red tab. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.